Assalamu alaikum students. Our today topic is rhythm as principle of design. This is the part 1 of this topic. These are the objective of our presentation. We want to define rhythm, what is rhythm, and we want to know the sources of rhythm or its concepts and variation of rhythm and its effect of rhythm on painting or different artwork. First of all, its introduction. Engaging the senses, kinesthetic empathy. When a visual experience, an art piece, stimulates one of our other senses, if you look at a piece of art and it resonates with memories and or associations, that is kinesthetic art. You can see the example of kinesthetic art. Now, what is rhythm? Generally, we can say rhythm means one kind of repetition. The word rhythm is believed to come from the Greek word rhyme, meaning to flow or stream. Rhythm is when things happen in the flow of time. It refers to continuity, recurrence, or organized movement in space and time. Rhythm is based on repetition of colors, shapes, forms, lines, and other existing elements of art. It is also known as repetition. Rhythm is defined as a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. It's created when one or more elements of design are used repeatedly to create a feeling of organized movement. Evoking sight, sound, and touch. The rhythm of an artwork's design creates a sensation, for example, heat, metallic sound, jumpiness, supermatism, a Russian art movement of the early 20th century that emphasized non objective movements. Like the images on the upper side, these two images are non objective forms. You can see here. Types of rhythm. There are many types of rhythm. Some important types are random rhythm, regular rhythm, alternating rhythm, flowing rhythm, progressive rhythm, visual rhythm. Now, first of all, what is visual rhythm? A design principle that is based on repetition. On the right side, you can see the image, how beautiful it is, and how it is rhythmically repeated. Often, rhythm is based on the repetition of elements that are the same or only slightly modified, like in color or in size. Rhythm is a beat or flow or of images that evoke a feeling of pattern or rhythm. We associate rhythm with hearing, but it can be visual. These are also images of visual rhythm. You can see how beautifully pebbles are organized and the architecture of the cigarettes they create rhythmic impacts. Random rhythm. Repeating elements with no specific regular interval creates random rhythms. The spacing could be millimeters here or centimeter there, while the elements could be all over the place. Think of falling snow. These are the examples of random rhythm. Falling snow. pebbles on a beach, traffic movements. They are all examples of random rhythms in action. Next one is flowing rhythm. A flowing rhythm shows the repeated elements following bends, curves, and undulations. In nature, you can see this in the waves on a beach or sand dunes. As a designer, we can mimic nature by making wonderful patterns of elements with flowing rhythm. We can show clumps of seaweed underwater, their strands gently facing in a series of directions. The user imagines them washing against each other. These are the flowing rhythms. Now, next one is regular rhythm. Regular rhythm, the common example of regular rhythm is a heart. Like the beating of a heart, the regular rhythm follows the same intervals over and over again. You can easily make a regular rhythm just by creating a grid or a series of vertical lines. The user's eye will instantly recognize a regular rhythm, scanning it for any irregularities in the process. Remember, the eye likes to be drawn to outstanding elements. Therefore, there is a risk that when you are using regular rhythm in a design that it can become monotonous, like the dripping of a tap. So it is not good to use always regular rhythm. Use it when it is needed. The graph of heart beating ECG is one of the example of regular rhythm. Now progressive rhythm. What is progressive rhythm? We can make a progressive rhythm simply by changing one characteristic of a motif as we repeat it. We could draw a series of circles, one above the other, making each lower one larger. We can add shade to the smaller circles progressively so that the smallest one at the top is dark, the middle one is partial shade, and the biggest one only slightly shaded. Progressive rhythms surround us. If you were to video someone dancing and then examine that video frame by frame, you would have a progressive rhythm. In these images, you can see the example of progressive rhythm. It can also include color, value, and texture. This is a very familiar type of rhythm for us. Next one is alternating rhythm or patterns and sequence. We can repeat more than one element in a design. In an alternating design, we use a 1 ratio 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 patterns. Think of the black and white squares on a chessboard. That's an alternating rhythm in play. An alternating rhythm is, in fact, a regular rhythm with more complexity. It could be as straightforward as our chessboard, or we could envision something more intricate. Some fantastic alternating rhythms include rows of fish. You can see here in the middle of the two images, birds or other animals or any shapes repeated. Rhythm is characteristic in nature. For example, seasons day and night, tides, and planetary movements. Alternating rhythm, successive patterns in which the same element appear in a regular order. And what is the vibrating colors? Vibrating colors means colors that create a disturbance in the retina, creating a visual vibration for the viewer. Architecture often displays alternating rhythms. This is very common in buildings with columns such as Greek temples, also seen in brick and window placement with brick cornice. All are the examples of alternating rhythm. This was the first part of rhythm because the video became very lengthy. So I have divided it into two parts. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you for listening.